Hello and welcome to the Torch Snuffers Fantasy Draft Podcast for Survivor Season 35 Heroes versus Healers versus Hustlers. I'm your host, Alicia, and with me is my wonderful group of panelists. There's Alex Cash.
Hi.
Ben Melier.
Hi, friends.
Elise the Dragon Slayer.
Hi.
Stephen Lehman.
Hello.
And Prince Ty.
Good evening.
All right, and we have researched a bit, and we are ready to pick our pick all of our cast members for our fantasy teams. First, we're going to go into initial impressions of the cast overall before we dive in. So, Alex, want to start us off? What in a few words are you thinking about this cast this season?
All right, everybody else is going to express vast disappointment. I'm just going to spoil it for you right there.
Wow.
I am okay with it because I know that nobody just ever wows me during a cast reveal, nor does anybody truly disappoint. I really need to see him in action in order to evaluate him. The thing that I'm looking for is, are they playing a character? Are they going to go out of their way to be a dick? And the answer is no. So I'm at least happy with that.
All right, you're about the people because they're real people. I like it. All right, Ben, what about you?
I think someone mentioned something about some vastly disappointment happening. I'm going to start the train of the vast disappointment. I think we may have become victim to just having so much hype with the cast over the last few that we've just returned to one where there's nothing that's really doesn't stand out with the cast at all, and therefore we're just collectively underwhelmed. But that's how the cast definitely came off to me. I looked through it and then it didn't generate any excitement for me to watch the season. So I think that's what the issue is usually the cast is a device that makes you want to watch even further. You want to see people that stood out, how they perform in the actual game. I don't have that investment with anyone.
All right. Hopefully the season proves you and us wrong, but we shall see, and we will podcast alongside it. Elise, what about you?
So I agree with Alex that I usually don't form opinions on people until I've seen the actual show, because you never know. That being said, nothing about these people's bios made me excited to watch the season at all. I swear half of them are just all one person. Every single person is I hate lazy people. My parents are my inspiration. I'm an outdoors person. And all of them seem to think that they're Joe or Andrea. I'm just come on, guys, just pick better answers.
All right. Very fair. What about you, Stephen?
I don't want to say that I have vast disappointment in this cast, but I'm going to say that I'm just very uninspired. I feel like there are some seasons, Wrong, where the preseason I was I love this group of people and I'm really excited to see them play. And there's some seasons, like Redemption Island, where I'm just this is a cast of people that are playing Survivor. And here I'm kind of in the middle. I'm not really feeling any certain type of way about these people.
All right.
There's 3 or 4 who I'm on board with, but everyone else is meh.
Okay. And Ty?
I like that they went for alliteration because I'm an English nerd, so the whole heroes or whatever the hell it is, the Triple H's, it's time to play the game, I guess. So, maybe they could have gotten Paul Levesque. Maybe he should have been on the fucking season. Anyway, my point is this. The fact that we're so underwhelmed right now might mean that we're pleasantly surprised. That's what I'm hoping for. I would be surprised if I get that, but maybe we will. So, and with that, I'm ready to make my first pick because apparently I'm...
Wait, I have to share my thoughts. But you are cautiously optimistic, so that's
I
That's
guess.
good. So as I was researching all of the cast members, I started out with a list, and I always write, people's names, and then as I continue reading, I go like above or below, depending on where I think they're gonna fall in comparison to everyone I've read about. And I started out with like a name at the top, and then like a name at the middle, and then everyone else just kind of kept going like below and below and below, and I was like, but wait, I'm running out of room on my page because the bottom half is full of names. With that being said, I'm hopeful that we will all, like Ty said, be pleasantly surprised. I think to Ben's point, it's hard to come off of a season where we had so many phenomenal players coming back that we were just really so excited about and dying to see. And then to come to a cast of like total unknowns and not have, all of the dynamic personalities that we so loved, in past seasons. Might make for at least an uninspired start. Hopefully they can get out there and either be so like interesting or strategic or just bumbling that it's entertaining. So, we'll see what we get with heroes versus healers versus hustlers. That's for sure. So with that said, going to start the quick draft. Ty's going to lead us off with his first pick, and all of our first picks will be the winner picks for our season this season. So, Ty, take it away.
I'm going to pick a person who, it's always dangerous to go for a person who's been a professional athlete. That being said, one of the base gambling degenerates who bets on football every week, wasn't aware that Alan Ball was a football player until I briefly looked at his bio. So to that end, I feel like he's an athlete who might actually do well, because if you know who he is, God bless you for that. I think he'll be good in challenges, which will probably get him relatively decently far. And when nobody else stands out, maybe he'll be the new Jeremy Collins or something or other. In any case, Alan Ball, who was also literally the first person I saw because he's alphabetically first, is my drafted player.
Wonderful. I like it. Great.
Good.
He's from Houston, so I'm a fan because I'm also from Houston, Texas. But all right, as soon as you pick him for your team, we can
good to go.
continue on. Awesome.
I think it went through. Yep.
Okay, great. So next up is Every Day I'm Hustlin', which is the team for
me, Alex Cash, and I picked that name because I guess my job would put me in the hustling category, although really the categories this season are so arbitrary and weird that who the hell knows. But I'm wearing my red buff in solidarity anyway.
Oh, I like it for Yawa.
And all right, so here's my linked pick, and I wish that I could pick a different winner than my first draft pick, but I like because the reason I'm picking this guy is not because I think he's going to win. I don't think someone like Ryan Ulrich is going to be allowed to win. But like if you look at the cast preview videos, he got like 30 more seconds than anybody else to talk about him, and that is a not insignificant margin. I think the camera is going to love him, and I think that even though there is a definite chance that he could get married, he could also be one of the major characters of the season, and that gets you fantasy points as much as actually winning does. So, Ryan, it is.
Damn it. I liked him too. Okay.
Shout out to Lancaster, Pennsylvania, which should not need any bellhops because it's like mostly the Amish. That's really confusing. He did not plan his career well. Anyway, I digress.
All right. Next up is me. I'm Team Squad Goals. So I have to go with a girl/woman who impressed me in her cast video. She talked about having a great memory and knowing and filing away everything that everyone is saying. So I think if people are trying to, pull one over on her, she's going to know. I think she's going to be able to keep lies straight in her head. So I'm picking Chrissy. as my winner pick / first draft.
Dang it, you took Mama Bear.
Yeah, you took one of the people I wanted.
I know.
Sorry.
We're very competitive for like the few people we really like.
I know. I'm like crossing everyone on my top 5 out right now, guys. Yeah. It's cool. You'll notice Chrissy at the very top of my page, and then there's a large gap because I couldn't tell her after her. But, yeah. All right. Next up, Cerie's misplayed advantage.
That would be me. So pouring one out for Cerie Fields. God bless. So my pick is someone who I really like. I think she's got a good head on her shoulders. She seems a little zany. I think she's also going to be a breakout character of the season. She compared herself to Sophie and Courtney, 2 characters who I dearly love. So it is with that. Ben, I assume, knows who I'm picking, but I'm picking Rourke.
I hate you.
There was no chance that you would ever have picked anyone else, Steven.
I would have picked Chrissy, but...
Okay, you proved me wrong.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, Chrissy's older. That's why he would have picked her. I mean, come on. Even as a tech. And it is middle age. Anyway.
well, I didn't like the fact that she compared herself to Sophie because I think Sophie sucks. She had a Mean Girls quote in her bio, so
I know, I saw that. The Caltine bars.
Oh, the Caltine bars?
Yeah.
I didn't know what that was. Okay.
All right. That's okay. Heartbreak. It's fine. It's cool. All right. Now that we're all thoroughly devastated, next up is going to be Heroes versus Healers versus Hustlers. Not just a wrestler anymore. Oh, HHH, not a wrestler. I
Just fucking Triple H.
no pop culture reference knowledge whatsoever.
Oh my god.
So
Who's up
my
next?
name is just because I'm not going to recite the stupid names this whole season. So I'm calling the season Survivor Triple H, which is also the name of a wrestler.
If you can survive Triple H, you can survive a lot of things. He will hold you down. Anyway.
Wow, can I just say how quickly I went from like total like apathy into feeling so strongly raged for not getting that fantasy pick. That was a transition in emotion.
That's good. We're inspiring passion already.
Yeah.
Hey, this is good hope for the season.
Yeah, really.
Damn it. Okay, so the next person that I had like somewhere respectable, I'm just gonna pick him. I'm picking Ben because I think he's gonna be the affable. I think he's gonna be like a very affable type that's also able to do strategic stuff.
Also named twins.
Also your namesake.
Yeah, he's my spirit animal on the island.
I'm so happy you took him because he is so low on my list.
Tatted up Marine from Boise, Idaho. Yeah.
He kind of like, I don't know, I didn't watch his video, but I saw his like bio and he gave like a lot of short answers and kind of reminded me of Cody from Big Brother last season.
See, he kind of aesthetically reminds me of Rick from South Pacific.
My problem with him is that he was saying he's a combination of Russell, Boston Rob, and Joe. And those 3 people are not one person. That's not a thing. So, you know, but God bless Ben. You're going with a ballsy ass choice. If he delivers,
I really got a lot of fantasy points, and I'm so happy.
I feel like he is going to get a good amount of content, though.
Yeah. All right, solid. Next up, last but not least, is Elise.
Yeah, and I get 2 picks because I got back-to-back, which is exciting. Let me see. I'm not really that inspired. Most people on this list, and it's not showing up to let me pick. So
yeah, Ben, go ahead and lock in.
I just locked in, so you should be good.
Okay. So I'm looking at my choices, and they're great.
Naturally. I know you're
know
off
what?
the top with who you should pick first, because
As much as I hate the people who are I like Tasha and Spencer, I think I'm actually gonna go with Desiree or Desi for my winner pick, because I like the fact that she talked about traveling, and her inspiration was her grandma, who was survived the Great Depression and civil rights movement and actually did cool shit and wasn't just oh, my parents are cool. So to that end, I am picking her for my winner pick. So I hope she survives more than an episode.
I like it. She's a strong, independent woman who don't need no parent inspo. She's
Exactly.
got her grandma.
And then for my second pick, I didn't want to pick him for my winner pick because I feel like he could easily go home pretty quickly. I'm actually gonna pick I don't know. It's so hard.
God, this is
I think I'm gonna pick Patrick, even though he seems kind of a douchey guy. I think he could not go home immediately and probably get some confessionals, and that's what I'm going for in this draft. So you heard my reasonings. I'm excited to hear whatever person you leave for me at the end.
So Patrick isn't afraid of crabs. He picked up that crab and was in the video.
Oh, see, there's another reason to pick him.
He's a man of the hunt. He gets crabs. Not in that way. All right. And okay. And Ben, back to you.
Can we just talk for a second about how Desi and Patrick were two of the three people I had left that had notes at all?
I'm sorry.
Or whatever that you're not going to.
This is not a good night for me.
All right, snap decision. Who are you feeling?
I'm going to go for the most generic name possible for a human. I'm going for Jessica Johnson. Because I literally just wrote down her full name, and that's why I'm picking her.
Yeah.
So she's an SP. She's the one in the teaser video that was kind of acting like a know-it-all and was like, I graduated from here and I did that. Or was that a different person? I couldn't remember.
That sounds, I don't know. I mean, it's possible. I don't know.
She's a nurse.
On Wednesday when the Survivor season airs.
She's a nurse. She says she wants gonna play like Andrea. Her inspiration is her parents, and she referenced Christ, and that's all the notes I have.
There we go.
The thing that I got out of her video was that she just seemed really positive and cheery. And I was wondering, is that going to wear off 4 days in, or is she going to annoy everyone? Because I think that there's really not a middle ground.
Probably not. But she could be, I don't know. I was going to do that cheer that everyone does, but I just can't be bothered. Okay, next up, we've got Steven again. Steven?
Ben, did you walk in your pick?
Locking. Sorry,
No,
I'm just
no.
really energized by this,
Oh,
so
yeah,
I'm soaking it all in.
All right, so Steven,
yes.
who's it going to be? Let us know.
So as a healer, by someone who gives people pizza, because that's, I don't know. Anyway, if my computer will load, there we go. I'm picking this person because I remember a few things about them, and they're vaguely positive leaning, I suppose. I remember he named his kid Ethan after Survivor Africa winner, which is always a weight on my heart. I love Ethan. He's got verbal diarrhea, as I do. And he's a fucking neurologist, which I think is really cool, I guess. So I'm picking Mike because, yeah.
All right.
I remember things about him.
He's a germaphobe. I wonder how he'll fare on day 1/2/3.
I'm feeling
Slash
like
Like Game of Thrones.
well, I say I'm
So
feeling.
He
Nice
did
to
mention
have
Game of
you.
Thrones.
I feel like we could
He was
get
also. Go ahead with your
I was
winner
saying, I think we get a long-term growth edit from him where he has his like early breakdown about germs and everything before overcoming that.
kind of like David went.
I was about to say, I
Like a
think
David or Holly Hoffman or
3, The Leaves.
Suri versus Leaves, Holly Hoffman versus Alligator Skin Shoes. Yeah, I think
All right. After your description, I'm buying it. I'm a little more sold. I thought he was really boring when I first read about him, but I dig it. All right, next up is me. Again. Okay. So for my next pick, I am I'm adding to my girl squad of 1, and I'm adding another girl. And I think she has what it takes to deal with high maintenance people in high pressure situations and can kind of manage nicely and socially everyone that she comes into contact with because she's a celebrity assistant and she's Allie and she has the first 3 letters of her name like I do. We are both ALI. So naturally, and she's number 2. She's the one that goes next to the gap.
How many name twins?
Allie's joined me.
Her name cousin.
We're half name twins, so Ben, I guess I was just really copying you because I was like, jealous. So Allie is gonna join my squad, and with that, I believe Alex, you're up next.
All right, let's see how many wonderful picks we have left.
We have a few really good ones. We have 3 really good ones.
Do we?
All right.
Do we? Come on.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
3 I think are good. Only 1 that y'all might think is good.
Okay. I'm gonna have to go with Katrina, and that's just because, like, I'm like, as far as sports stunt casting goes, I'm much more about, let's get a former Olympian on here than I am let's get a former NFL player on here because they're not, as famous. And I mean, the time that we've had it before, it was Crystal Cox.
Oh, that is a high bar.
Icon. That I'm sold now.
Oh shit!
Right.
Oh my God.
And so she's just a high achiever. Like, I mean, A, Olympian, B, went to Berkeley, very good school, and I think that either she could achieve the shit out of Survivor as well, or she could be type A and annoying, and a bunch of people with questionable jobs are going to think she's weird, but who knows? I'm willing to take a chance on her because, wow, the other 7 people on the list don't really look like contenders.
All right, fair enough. Will Alex get a fantasy Survivor gold with Katrina the Olympian? We'll find out at the end of the season.
That was good.
Thank you. I came up with that on the fly. Ty?
She did the butterfly. Fun fact.
So, spoiler alert, I was going to take Katrina just because she lives in a place called Excelsior, which sounds like something random and pretentious that I would yell out while drunk. So to that end, for completely unnuanced reasons, I was going to take her, and now I'm left scrambling a little bit. Looking at who's left, God help us.
You gotta have a backup plan. You gotta have a plan A, B, and C. This is the Survivor fantasy draft.
I have kind of a backup plan because I got 2 picks, so I have to choose 2 of these delightful humans that are left. There's a bald probation officer. He's kind of an officer. He's probably going to be cast to be a poor man's version of Tony because he kind of looks like Tony because he's bald and he's an officer. So to that end, Joe Mena by default, picking him. Did anybody actually look who he wanted to play like? Because I didn't. Because
He name drops Tony. I believe also Mike Holloway, and
oh god damn it!
And he had
And
a list
Jeremy.
of pet peeves a mile long.
Yeah,
He just
Tony.
kept listing all the pet peeves.
Tony, Mike Holloway, and
Jeremy Collins.
Collins.
Literally all the winners.
Well, I mean,
Because he has
at
his
least
eye
he
on the
knows he's
prize.
trying to win.
Right.
At least he knows he's trying to win, and hopefully there's not any scorpions. He doesn't try to eat them. But if he does, I'm sure it'd be a great confessional. So
Honestly, trying to win is an advantage over everyone else who is here to be an outdoorsman and experience and like doesn't like lazy people. So like
I once knew a person who told me that the most important strategy in Survivor was to not get the most votes until the end, in which case you want the most votes. And sometimes following the easy strategy is what is best. And to that end, I feel great about picking Joe. Okay, I haven't picked a girl yet. There's 2 girls left. Simone. Oh wait, there's 3 girls left. Poor Lord. Good God.
Oh my God.
Let's see. What do we got here? Ashley Nolan is pretty, and she's a lifeguard, which means that she'll do well in swimming challenges. So maybe she'll be around a while. Who knows? Possibly.
You're picking Ashley?
God help me. That's who I'm picking, because
You're picking Ashley.
we got to move on.
She was the one who, real quick, I dubbed her unfunny Jen Brown. I feel like she reminds me of Jen from Worlds Apart if Jen wasn't, like, she was less funny and more try-hard. And maybe I'm completely off base with that. Like, I really hope I am. But, like, Ashley just gives me a vibe where I'm like, I feel like you're going to piss people off. Because she's going to be like, I don't care, but I really do. So,
No, Steven. People are going to piss her off because her pet peeves are ignorance, laziness, and complainers.
Oh,
and I'm pretty sure that's the entirety of any Survivor's cast.
See, I find that ironic because I think that perfectly describes her in my eyes. I have 3 words for her: resting bitch face.
I will say I was impressed, or not really impressed, but at least happy that she did a throwback to Richard Hatch because, like, he's cool. We don't hear about him a lot anymore, so.
True. And she's a winner.
Yeah, Richard Hatch seemed to have the right idea, and because he won, I'm the winner. Okay.
Yes.
One thing about Ashley is that she, like, her entire cast video was about randomly quitting her job to be a lifeguard because she wanted to do something more exciting with her life, I guess. And I hope that impulsivity carries over to her gameplay because people just doing random stuff on a whim in the game keeps things interesting.
Yeah, like Chaos Cass and hashtag Survivor Blindsides. Maybe she'll cause one or 2.
She may inspire us. Hashtag.
All right. Maybe so. All right. Hashtag Steven, it's your turn.
Actually, Alex's.
Oh, hashtag Alex, it's your turn. Hashtag fail. I'll stop.
Okay, it's my turn to pick. I'm gonna go with Simone because she at least looks like she's going to try to play the game. She also looks like she's going to be very obvious about it, and people are going to catch on to her on like day 2. But she is going to try, and that is important.
Hell yeah, she is. My fellow New Yorker is going to use the weaknesses she finds out about people, or at least day number 1 while she's there.
She is my pick, by the way, for Eliza RC Alina of the season. Where, like, everyone just has this massive hate boner for her, but we really don't know why. And she gets voted out 11-1 at the merge, and everyone's like, thank God. But she'll be fun while she's there.
I think this will be the one where everyone collectively hates her and the audience hates her too.
She was high on my list. I
Oh no, I mean I'm sure she'll be.
She reminded me of me.
Need we say more?
Exactly. All right. So now that my fellow New Yorker was taken from me, it's time for me to pick, and I'm thrilled that I will be drafting number 3 on my list of my top 3. So I have scored my first, second, and third choice picks. It's the dream. Cole, come on down to squad goals. He compares himself to Spencer because he's nerdy, or
Okay.
he likes that Spencer was nerdy. I'm not clear if he's actually nerdy. Probably not. But and he's this adorable 24-year-old. And he seems like he's positive, and he might be smart and social. Hopefully, or at least pretty to look at in confessionals to get me all the points. So.
Right. You have him because he kind of has Aussie hair. That's what that was. There's your hot take, everybody. I mean, come on.
Aussie body. It's fine.
I will say I liked one thing he said, which was that he'd bring Legos to the island.
Yeah, me too. It was adorable. That's why I liked him too. I just
part of me wants to say it so he could plant them on the beach so people would step on them and get medevaced, but
No.
That's the level of strategy these people are.
Yeah, you know. So I guess it's my turn, huh?
Yeah.
So I have Devin, JP, or Lauren Rimmer. That is the last three that we have. Yeah. Oh God. So I'm sure Lauren will be fun in her one episode that we have her, but I'm not going to pick her.
Oh.
Devin, no. JP by default. Woo! I like firefighters. So
Okay, sorry.
I always give to the muscular dystrophy people when they do the boot because they're, they run into they run into flaming houses and save people. So
he has a dog named Thor. Like, what else?
Oh, also
he
talked about how humble. He talked about how humble he was. I remember that. Which that's always one of my favorite tropes is when someone like brags about how humble they are. That's
well, that was just part and parcel with him talking about his upstanding moral character, which I'm sure is going to come in totally handy.
I don't know. My favorite part was when he said he would be like Jay because Jay is outgoing and fun. And I remember Jay being outgoing and fun, but also like strategic and like really trying to play the game. That wasn't so much JP's, admiration for him, which is fine. Cool. All right, and so we are left with two. So, Ben, who's it gonna be?
So I had the near impossible task of determining whom between Devin and Lauren is more desirable.
Oh my God, there's one clear, obvious choice.
And because one of their faces doesn't piss me off, I'm going to pick Lauren.
Yes!
Whoa, that was actually a plot twist.
Because I just can't I just cannot associate myself with that face. I mean, that's
real
oh my
quick
God, I'm really happy for Elise right now.
If she can get through, I'm clearly going to get voted out if the Hustlers lose. But, like, if she happens to have a miracle tribe, then she's going to be able to survive. It's great. She has a way out. You can't,
one round?
survive that phase.
Oh
just real quick on Lauren, I love Great Value Denise from China. So I'm sure Lauren will be fun when we have her.
I'm just
Lauren's claim to fame is her daughter, and if you can't even have your own
claim
to fame about you, like, come
sweet.
on. But anyway,
I'm just gonna say that other Fisher people that we've had on the show in previous years have included Zoe Zanadakis and Jimmy Tarantino, and
fishmonger.
Lydia's the fishmonger from Guatemala.
Love Lydia.
Yeah,
Pancake dance. Oh, bless her.
My point is that if there's a trend here, we are in for some unintentional comedy, and I am fine.
Can I talk about my pick now?
Absolutely.
Your pick.
I am choosing Devin because he's the last one left. I wrote in my notes, Devin, surf instructor, boring dude, bro, Ozzy and Malcolm, boring as fuck. So I'm very excited to have him on my team. I'm hoping he says he's gonna be like Ozzy and Malcolm and just another lovable guy, and I must have missed the part where Ozzy was a lovable guy, but that's okay.
So lovable, Elise.
Anyway, I'm hoping he won't be first boot because he's like athletic or something. He's like into surfing and yoga. That's exciting.
Wonderful.
I can't wait for this
Yay!
season.
So with
Everyone
that, we have drafted our teams. We are ready to go. Honestly, I don't know how y'all feel. I'm a little more excited about the season post-draft than I was pre-draft. I think it's going to provide some comedy. I think these players are going to provide more chances for us to be bitchy and tear them apart as though we have any right to.
Yeah.
It's going to be fantastic. So
I'd say the barometer for this would be like if these people make aggressively stupid moves, like in say Gabon or Nicaragua, where people just do stupid things to do stupid things. So I'd love that.
yeah, maybe we'll be like those people that watch sports games that are like yelling at their televisions, being like, "No, why did you make that call?" Like,
God,
no,
I have a violent
why
flashback
would
to
you
last
say
Sunday.
the truth? Like,
While we were doing this and like while like thinking like, oh wow, these are all such uninspiring people, it made me realize like I'm gonna be able to watch Survivor and not have any like real feelings that
Right.
are not about the game. Like I'm gonna be able to actually watch the game and care about the game and not care about the people playing the game.
wow,
At least at
we're gonna go
first.
back to the roots. Yeah. So
I'm
I'm excited.
I think it's going to be a fun podcast no matter what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have a great time.
We're gonna be drinking, so it's always fun.
Yeah, precisely. So you can join us and our wonderful or shitty opinions, depending on who you are. This
We're gonna need
coming
a lot of
Wednesday.
fucking rum.
Yes, you can watch us drink and talk shit or talk praises, depending on who we're talking about or what it is. This Wednesday, we will be podcasting directly after the 1 hour season premiere of Survivor Season 35, Heroes vs. Healers versus Hustlers. I just had to take like 3 breaths in the middle of that Survivor title of the season, but it's cool. So we are excited to see each other and see all of you on Wednesday.